few years ago, the YouTube horror space had witnessed the meteoric rise of a certain, eerily bizarre, alternate reality game. While most might assume that it was something simple, being run by a game master for a work of interactive fiction, little did they know that this enigma was hiding a sinister secret. A secret that people would quickly pick up on, leading to the assumption that there was something much more disturbing unfolding before them than they originally assumed. This is the story of Worldcorp, the deep web cult. In 2015, a YouTube channel would enter the fray, curiously titled Worldcorp Enterprises. Over the next 2 years, Worldcorp would begin uploading videos with surreal imagery and music and what I can only describe as a vaporwave-inspired mishmash of bizarre visuals and sounds, intermixed with imagery involving their channel's name and their logo, a simple PNG of a globe. In the mix, and what occupied a considerable portion of their online catalog, were music videos centering on one of the Worldcorp members rapping over a beat.
Walk in the room and I know they all know, and if they don't know, put on a little show. Leave someone close, cold, dead in the snow. Ice cold like a brain freeze when you say, whoa, when well as this green, you always gotta go. Keep your mind real clean, keep your pockets out the blow. Gonna blow a check, pay, rolling out the dough.
Like many alternate reality games and online mysteries, this caught the attention of 4chan, and over on the X board, Anons were performing a real-time investigation into this entire thing. An Anon that created one such investigatory thread in December of 2016 had this to say. For those who don't know, Worldcorp Enterprises is an organization spread all throughout the internet with accounts on every social media under the sun, all with very few subscribers and followers. Despite this, they've been making videos on YouTube for over a year and consistently upload to SoundCloud. They have a Discord chat as well, which can be found by clicking a link on their website, worldcorpo.net. As you might expect, responses in this thread ranged from full-on belief to flat-out denial, with some postulating that the videos were simply being utilized for clicks. Like Anon said though, these people, much like we can recall with Ascensionism Records, had multiple accounts all over the internet, including their own website. Heading over to the now defunct worldcorpo.net through Internet Archives, we're met with an early 90s-esque website with 4 simple paths to take: videos, music, images, and a link to their Discord server. Heading to the images section takes us to a page littered with bizarre photos resembling what you'd find in their videos. Their music link takes you to their SoundCloud. The Discord link, as you might expect, led to their now deleted server, and the Videos tab brings you to a grid of thumbnails for the many uploads that this strange cult had created. All still seems like your stereotypical ARG setup, right? Clearly, this is all just music and edgy videos strung together by an early 90s vaporwave aesthetic. How bad could this really get? If only it were that simple. In the mix of their many YouTube videos were 2 outliers that really began to rub people the wrong way. The uploads from their channel, titled Fatherhood and Each Day I Grow Some More, seemed to be a connected series of videos involving a man yelling at a screaming child through translucent glass. Fatherhood opens with a face, followed by a countdown, before showing multiple clips of this unnamed man screaming at the child and claiming that they were disrespecting him. Additionally, in Each Day I Grow Some More, we see more of the same. However, the man begins angrily singing the lyrics to the theme song for the kids show, Caillou. In both of these videos, the child in question is begging for him to stop, sounding as if they're under extreme duress. Now a quick aside. The footage I'm describing here is disturbing, and due to the inconclusive nature of the source material, I won't play the audio or video. That doesn't mean that re-uploads aren't available online, however, so hunt this video down at your own risk. Because of its enigmatic nature, heavy controversy ensued, leading people to back up before speculating on if this entire series of interconnected social accounts were actually works of fiction or something much more menacing. Interestingly, a pretty large channel by the name of Silva Gunner was spearheading an alternate reality game of their own around the same time that the Worldcorp investigation was going on. In their November 2016 upload, titled Theme Song Caillou, they include a cryptic mashup of eerie clips, including one from Sesame Street, one where a guy impersonates Chris Chan, and lastly, a video from Worldcorp. Specifically, Each Day I Grow Some More. In the description and video itself, typical ARG cliches were evident, although that isn't even the most interesting part. The video credited people that were involved in its creation. One of those among them was none other than Worldcorp Enterprises. So, problem solved, right? Worldcorp is simply an ARG run by Silva Gunner with the primary purpose of giving his audience more to dig through, since clearly they were involved here. When contacted about the clip, Silva Gunner claimed numerous times that it was 100% fake and that there was nothing to worry about. So, we're good. No? Not so fast. Remember that Worldcorp Discord server I mentioned? People actually leveraged that in order to get some information from this. Apparently, the owner of the cult was extremely active, and going by this 4chan comment, claimed that they weren't fake. They were far from it. I know, somewhat, the source of the screaming and the fatherhood and Each Day I Grow Some More videos, as well as some other things I learned in a private convo with the CEO, which I'm not permitted to share. What I can tell you is that this is a real organization, and they're way bigger than just the internet. When I say there's a rabbit hole, I mean it. You're welcome to ask the CEO himself. Clearly, there's a lot of conflicting information here. It's honestly not uncommon for cult-like ARGs to claim that they're real to keep the immersion going. However, something about Worldcorp didn't seem right. Something was off. So to recap, back in 2015, an ARG-like channel was launched. They posted cryptic 90s-esque music videos that included two controversial standouts that seemed to be a bit more real than the others. Nearly a year later, Silva Gunner kickstarted their own mini ARG that included a clip from one of the Worldcorp videos, credited Worldcorp in the description, and went forth to claim that the clips were fake and that there was nothing to worry about. Conversely, Worldcorp was being contacted directly through their Discord server and successfully convinced some that this wasn't fake at all. So who's lying? Unfortunately, sometime in late 2016, their channel was taken down. This ended up resulting in the investigation stalling, leaving most to assume that this was simply the work of Silva Gunner. But one question remained. Aside from Worldcorp itself being real or not, what about those two uploads? Who actually was that man? In March of 2016, a widespread scandal by the name of Pizzagate was quickly unraveling. That year, the personal email account of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, was leaked through WikiLeaks, and many were led to believe that the emails in question contained numerous coded messages that linked Podesta to a widespread human trafficking and that supposedly went under the radar for years. This has since been debunked. However, the timing couldn't have been worse for him, since it was brought to the attention of many Anons that the man's voice from the two mysterious uploads sounded eerily similar to that of Podesta himself. On Twitter, YouTube, and 4chan, you're able to find vocal comparisons of the two. Oddly though, the voice of Podesta and the man that was rapping in their music videos sound hardly similar, leading to inconsistencies that were hard to overlook.
No, I didn't. I was cleared and all the people resigned in disgrace in Louisiana. We also gotta...
Just get lost.
I'm not gonna get lost.
Well, it's this screen, you always gotta go. Keep your mind real clean, keep your pockets out the blow. Give a bro a check, pay, rolling out the dough. Everyone I'm with, head down, move so high. Fat cap.
All in all, without a face to go off of here, any evidence presented was circumstantial at best. The contradictory claims by Silvagunner and Worldcorp, combined with the brick wall that was encountered while trying to pinpoint the man in the video, had eventually led to this investigation to meet its demise, left to simmer away on the back burner of internet history. Until 3 years later. On March 14th of 2019, fellow investigative channel Scare Theater would upload a video titled Strange YouTube Videos Episode 7. His ongoing series essentially documents the disturbing uploads that he's come across online, and I guess the closest thing I could compare it to would be my Disturbing Things uploads. Anyway, in the final entry on his video, he included a very dark and grainy clip called Dreamer Heaven that was sent to him. This one, very eerily, contained audio that sounded like two men yelling at a screaming child while shining a flashlight on them. The kid, much like in the Worldcorp videos, seemed to be in extreme distress, pleading for the men to leave him alone. Scare Theater claimed that he had absolutely no info on the clip and opened the floor to the audience to dig into it if they're willing and to report back in the comments if they're ever able to locate a source. And, as you might expect, the investigation was on. Information eventually came to light through two primary avenues: a video by Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, and a comment by a user named Nuttybun. In Mudahar's video, he discusses the fact that he watched Scare's video as well, and went forth to show his dive into the deep web in hopes of hunting this video down. Eventually, this led him back to 4chan, where he discovered a thread that was also digging into this. According to a 4chan-anon that was able to track down the source material, they claim the following. It's tampered, found from. They showed 2 minutes and 19 seconds of the video because at 3 minutes, they grabbed the camera. He has a plastic bag over his head and the two men start. I couldn't watch anymore, but the original, or at least the link found from, was 32 minutes long. Also, I'm surprised people are finding out about this now, as this was from 2011. And maybe even before. But those screams, man, they never leave you. Circling back to Nutty Bun from Scare Theater's comment section, they went a bit further and explained. I found information that apparently was eventually shut down, and the owner, who we only know as Lux, was eventually arrested for this. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea, but that's what I could gather. Also, Scare Theater, if you're reading this comment, Some Ordinary Gamers highly advises you to remove the clip to the video at the end, as he stated in his video on Dreamer Heaven that YouTube is taking down videos featuring that one. As a result of this, Scare Theater cut the clip out of the video, explaining his reasoning in this pinned comment. Now, if this wasn't strange enough, the rabbit hole still gets deeper. People immediately drew parallels between the Dreamer Heaven video and those that were uploaded to Worldcorp Enterprises. All of them contained footage of adults screaming at children in distress, and as of that time, at least one of them was confirmed to be real. That then led to the question, were the ones from Worldcorp real as well? I want to show you something real quick. Let's head back to the Worldcorp website. Take a look at this clip here on the top left. What do you think this is? If your guess was the Dreamer Heaven video, then you're absolutely right. Now think about this for a second. Worldcorp Enterprises, a now defunct so-called ARG, had hosted a clip of Dreamer Heaven that was confirmed to be real. With that in mind, that leads us to wonder if all of the other clips that they created were the same. All we have to go off of, still, are contradictory claims by Silvagunner and Worldcorp's owner, and also this verified Dreamer Heaven video. Now what? Unfortunately, after widespread discussion about this began to renew, the Worldcorp website went down for good. This along with the disbandment of their other social accounts from years prior, had led everyone to the conclusion that we really don't know where to go from here at all. So everybody's stuck. Once again. Because of this, let's back up for a second and take a look at the evidence that we've gathered so far. So, looking at Worldcorp within itself is perplexing. We have this so-called cult that had a broad assortment of videos hosted not only on their websites, but also on their YouTube channel. The vast majority of what they uploaded didn't seem to be found footage at all, but rather mashups of distorted imagery and music, all riddled with their logo. I'm going to conject here that Worldcorp in itself was an attempted ARG, solely due to the fact that they were so public about their content. They made no effort to go under the radar, even after 4chan discovered and was investigating them back in 2016. If we can recall, they even held conversations with 4chan Anons directly, and in some of the threads that were made, people claimed that the so-called CEO of Worldcorp was frequenting the board during this entire thing. It just seems too headstrong to be something filmed, created, and broadcasted by Worldcorp themselves, so I'm going to go off on a limb here and assume that they were, like most had assumed, indeed an alternate reality game. Let's go on a quick tangent and take a look at something that we didn't touch on prior. Silva Gunner's response to Scare Theater and his involvement. On April 28, 2019, they removed the Caillou ARG video and left a comment on Scare's upload. It reads as follows. Thanks for bringing this information to light. We've removed the theme song Caillou video from our channel. The team member who created the video originally found the Each Day I Grow Some More clip on 4chan's export, and it wasn't until around 3 weeks after we uploaded it that we learned of its connection to Worldcorp. This was because of someone claiming to be the CEO of Worldcorp Enterprises messaged one of our team members through Discord about being credited in the video. According to its original creator, the account these messages were sent from is the same account that owned the Worldcorp Discord server linked on their website. I hope this clears up any confusion about our video. If you have any more questions, we've sent you an email with more information. This comment supports 3 things. 1. The fact that Worldcorp actually wasn't tied to Silva Gunner at all, but reached out with a demand to be credited in the description of that video. 2. That this so-called CEO was active in trying to get the Worldcorp name out there, implying that they weren't trying to hide anything. And 3. That the clips were previously circulated on the export of 4chan before this entire Worldcorp thing even began. This leads me to assume that Worldcorp could have just been pulling this stuff from 4chan, editing them, and re-uploading them to their own channel and websites to supplement their cryptic ARG. But even this is purely speculation. I mean, a counter-argument to this could be the fact that they deleted their entire online presence in hopes of evading the potential of being caught. For all we know, they could very well have created these videos, archiving them on this bizarre website in some sort of demented attempt at screwing with people. It's all incredibly inconclusive, and the mystery surrounding the legitimacy of fatherhood and Each Day I Grow Some More has unfortunately halted, remaining stuck at this point to this very day. So far, information on those 2 clips specifically has proven to be extremely sparse, and nobody on 4chan or elsewhere have come forth with any sort of source to date. They just sit there, shrouded in mystery. All in all, Worldcorp is an extremely disturbing rabbit hole that seemed to branch out in all different directions, without a direct way to get back in contact with the cult's creator, since this is years later. This all is once again fading into the back burner of internet history. I, with everything in me, absolutely hope that these videos are fake. However, considering the circumstances we've outlined, reality might be otherwise. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all, and good night.